And now, and Jessica, I made you co-host.
Thank you.
We're going to go live in Facebook, right on Tom's.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Tom.
Hey, how are you?
Doing on Tom's wall.
Doing good.
April, hi.
Hi.
Jamie, how are you?
Amazing. Good to see you here.
Yeah, you too. I feel like I have been crazy busy, actually working crazy busy. And, but I feel like I see you guys every day because I see you on Facebook. I see all your stuff. You guys do an amazing job, but really excited for you guys. And I'm excited for all of us. I mean, it's kind of crazy how busy we are, like middle of the summer and what's happening.
That's cool. Somebody tell us when we're live.
We're live.
We're live?
Yes.
Global Takeover. Get excited. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm always excited for our huddles, but I'm super duper excited. Look, we've got April on with us tonight. Woo! We got Jeffrey Kistner. We don't see him yet. We don't know if he has purple hair. Some nights he has purple hair. Look at the rock stars on this panel. But there's a guy here that I'm really excited about having here. Okay, look. Oh, Jeffrey doesn't have purple hair no more. We have Tom Pisano. I'm so excited to have him on here. But wait, we're going to bring him out in a moment. Okay, let's do this first. Celebrations. Jamie Reyes got the promotion, I don't know, in the first 3 or 4 days, right?
Hey. Oh, woo-hoo.
Superstar.
She is a superstar, a rock star. So she's got the carry-on for convention, right? And you're working towards the other one, yes? You're going to get it, yes, Jamie?
Yes. I was planning to get it for today, but I got sidetracked with other stuff. But I have an overview tonight, so hopefully to get it tonight still.
Awesome. Awesome. So look at, I want to see in May, think of this, Tom, in May, the airports are all going to be crowded with all the Melaleuca, that pretty teal blue, all the luggage going around.
Well, I qualified today. It took me 7 days. I'm not as fast as Jamie.
We're going to blow the horn for you.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Oh, Tom.
Go,
Congrats.
Tom. And April is here. Just rock stars here. So, April, you got something to tell us?
Do I? You want me to tell you something? No.
Yeah.
My dogs are playing right next to me. We have Tom here.
I want you to tell me something.
You want me to tell you something? I'm working towards the luggage.
We're all working towards the luggage. All right. Look it. This is special. All right. I'm really excited. I'm happy to say that we have met Tom in real land, and we met him over at the convention. You know, sometimes you feel like, oh, you know, these guys, like, I don't know, he's been here before Melaleuca. What is it, Tom, 27 years?
1991, so I think we're like...
I can't add that like that. 27, 28.
28.
Whoa, 28 years. Okay, that's unheard of.
I was 4 when I enrolled. So.
Yeah, right, exactly. I wasn't even born yet when you enrolled. So I wasn't born yet. He was 4. 28 years. He's still here. That's unheard of with companies. You folks all know that, unless it's got something going on really, really good. And so many of us, the 14, have been here for years and years and years. I know. I asked him to send me his formal information, and he did it.
You probably did you did a messenger?
Yes. All right. I'll have to do it by email or something. That's so archaic, Tom. Anyways.
Well, look how old I am. Look how old I am.
I'm older than you. So I'm thrilled to have him here with us. I know he's earned 10 million. Jeffrey says over 10 million. Okay. And I mean, look at when Melaleuca had like just a few products he started. I'm so excited. He always had golden nuggets. I know some folks have questions for you, Tom. Okay. So we'll see if we can hit you with some questions. Matter of fact, I know Jessica Daniels has questions, and some people put them on the thing here. But
I have rules about questions.
Okay, let's hear the rules.
Easy questions go to me.
Okay.
Difficult questions go to April.
April, okay, all right.
Take
I'm all
Take-
for
Oh,
that.
gee, thanks, Tom.
I love it. So, without any further ado, isn't that cool to say that? Mr. Tom Fasano, come on out. We're so, so happy and grateful that you're here with us. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm happy and grateful and thankful that you guys are part of my team and part of our team. And, it's been an amazing road for all of us. But, especially for Eddie, Nona, Alan, and I. And it's just hard to believe that we've been here all these years. And I'm going to tell you guys a story, and this will show you the strength of Melaleuca. Unfortunately, one of the first 8 people I enrolled, my friend Kelly Regan, passed away in February. And she was one of my first 8. She was sick for 9 years with a lung infection she got from the mold and mildew in her shower head, which is a whole nother seminar that everyone should find out about this and clean their shower heads. But I'll have April send all this stuff out. But she didn't know what it was. So for 8 or 9 years, she never worked her Melaleuca business. It was called non-tuberculosis bacterial lung infection. So she was really, really sick. So for 8 or 9 years, she really did nothing. The only thing that she did, she came to a convention the year before last because she had to go to National Jewish Hospital in Denver to see this lung specialist. And she stopped by the convention to see everyone. Do you know that for 9 years, she built a great business, executive director. Her retention and her reorder rate, 99% every month. All those customers that we enrolled together in those ridiculous bad meetings in the beginning where we didn't know what we were talking about, they're all still there. And unfortunately, she passed away on February 1st. Her daughter inherited that business, and now her daughter has that business. And, that's really the power here. The power here is this business is built to last a lifetime. It will go far beyond us. And I will tell you, it's really hard to build this business. Anyone that says this is easy, it's not easy. It takes time, it takes effort. There is nothing bad here. It's all good. The work is beyond, the return on the work is beyond anything that you could do out there in this type of environment with no investment, no overhead, the usual things that we know. But I have to tell you a wild story. One of the people that I enrolled in my first 14 people or 15 people, I placed under Kelly. And this was a friend of mine from New Jersey. And she built a business for a long time. And she got to, I forget the status, but it was just about senior director. And then she decided that she didn't want to build her business anymore. And she's been getting her check. When Kelly died, I reached out to all of her personals and a lot of the people in that group from the old days, just to tell them what happened. And I got on the phone with Sylvia, and Sylvia said, Tom, I haven't done anything in 20 years. I've made close to $200,000 in residual income. I love these products. I watch everything. I read the Leadership in Action. She goes, I've been thinking about calling you for the last year or two. I think it's time for me to get back in the game and build. I've enrolled 5 people for her. I enrolled her in 1991. And I was just telling these girls before you guys came on the webcast or the Zoom, I said, it's so amazing because I sat back today and I said, I enrolled her nephew, who's going to be a powerhouse. He's like 5 minutes down the street from me. And I sat there saying, and she's so excited. She qualified for the luggage already. She's going for the, and I'm saying, it's how amazing a company is this, that someone that you enrolled 29, 28 years ago is actually back in the game. And I said to Ellie, any other business you were in, if you enrolled someone and you didn't talk to them 28 years, I don't even think they'd want to talk to you or answer your phone. She is so excited. She goes, the company's gotten so much better. I am so excited that I'm here. this is what I need, this is my goal, this is what I want to bring my business to. And all of those original people are still in that organization. Not all of them, but the bulk of them are still there. And you know, that really is the power of what we have in our hands for our life, but you really have to think about the power of being able to put that in other people's hands. And there's never been a better time. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better and better. And, you know, I know that we're kind of an open talk tonight, but, you know, the new people that I've been bringing in, you know, they've been asking me, you know, I don't understand, how does this work? I go, this is about one thing. This is all about enrolling customers to shop at the best store there is. And your question you have to ask yourself is, how many customers are you going to bring into your store? And how many customers are you going to help your partners bring into their store, which is your store? And if you get to the end of the day and you haven't brought any new customers to the store, no matter what you've done, you haven't worked. And I reflect that in, you know, when we came into Melaleuca, it was a very small company. People were laughing at us. 40 of the ugliest products you ever saw. They were all in the same container. I don't know if I told you guys the story before or not, but they're all in the same container. And we would do in-homes, and we would have to keep the pre-spot, everything. We'd have to keep it all covered with towels in the car when we were driving, because if the sunlight got on them, their vegetable dyes, everything turned white. So everything was the same color, and it was ridiculous. It took 2 weeks for us to get an order when we placed an order when we were in Boston. And you look back at what we did, and we built our business on that equation that I talked to everyone about. And I said, and I wish I could find it. I found so much stuff. I found this, which is the first training book that we ever put together with Nona, The 6 Steps to Success. This is 1991, 92. If you read this, this is exactly what we do today. Is it slicker or better? It's the same thing. And our business is about basically 3 things: approach, present, and enroll. Approach, present, and enroll. And I know that I've told a lot of you this before, but I've dug out everything. I found a lot of stuff from the old days, the old days. But there was this one cardboard thing I had on my desk next to my phone, and we lived by this. And it said, enrollments equal volume equal income. And at the end of the day, we would get on the phone and say, how many customers did you enroll? How many customers did you help your group enroll? And who do you have going to director? And if you didn't do those first 2 things, you didn't make any money and you didn't increase the bottom line of your business. And we treated it like a business. And I think the greatest thing today, when you treat Melaleuca like a business, it pays you back like a business. Today, it pays you 4 times what it paid you when we started. Because every calculation that we do with the new bonuses and everything, we look at our businesses, what we produced in that first 12 months. And if we did exactly what we did in 91 today, we'd probably be in the $400,000 range in the first 12 months for the exact same activity. But I think for us as leaders and business builders, you know, what we have to instill in ourselves is the fact that you only have to do this once. And not everyone's once is our once. You know, some people's once is, I want to get to $500 a month once, and I want to get that $500 a month. I want to get to 1,000. I want to get to 5,000. But whatever that number is, once you get there, that money is really there, and it's getting tighter and tighter. You know, we had a much higher attrition rate in the beginning when we were bringing people into the business because we had 40 products. You know, here today, I mean, if you do this right, it's unbelievable because, you know, one of the things that we knew, and it's one of the things the company remedied for us, you know, when someone leaves Melaleuca, if a customer comes to Melaleuca, they usually leave, for the same reason. Someone brought them in the wrong way. They threw them in for $1. They never spend time with them. explain the products. Did you know that if a customer is enrolled in Melaleuca and they place an order for a product for 3 consecutive months, if they actually don't get a backup order, but they place that order consecutively 3 months in a row, the percentage of those people that leave plummets to almost 0. And the company putting that incentive in to give us 50% of that customer's first order for the first 3 months incentivizes people to do it. But a lot of people don't realize, in addition to the fact that they're getting that income, it's also tightening their business. And when your people that you're working with, when they see you do it, they do it. And it just tightens and tightens and tightens things up. And listen, this is stuff we all know, but I will tell you, it is so good right now, what they're doing. And like Sylvia called me today, she goes, oh my God, I can't believe it. She goes, I got a message. Darren Johnson sent me an email. I said, about what? Oh, my new enrollee just watched the Foundations video and they want me to call them and do, they want me to do a strategy session. She goes, I couldn't believe it. I knew you were doing a meeting today. So I went into the system and I watched how to do a strategy session and I called up and I did a strategy session. She goes, this is unbelievable. And a lot of this we take for granted, that we've been here for a long time because we do it every day. But you think of the power of that, and it's really, really, really incredible. Can you hear me, Ellie?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because you were talking and I couldn't hear you. Oh, you were muted? Were you muted?
Yes, and I talk to myself.
Okay, it's so funny. But you know what's really funny? I'm doing a call tomorrow for someone in my business who's got a really big business. And it's so funny because people have these illusions of some of us. I don't know where they get it. But she called and she goes, Tom, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to do a training for me tomorrow on a Zoom for my team. Because my team does everything on social media. And they need to learn how to talk to people that are like walking and breathing like out on the street. And I'm like, seriously? She goes, no, I'm serious. She goes, now I know you don't enroll anymore. I'm like, whoa. I said, what do you mean I don't enroll anymore? I said, I qualified the last 3 months for the bonus. I get the bonuses. I'm building directors. I'm still, she goes, you are? I'm like, what do you think I do all day? Sit by a pool and drink martinis? I said, I'm working harder today than I've ever worked. And it's funny because my presentation today, the guy asked me, he goes, why are you working so hard? Like, I was sitting there at lunch. I took this guy out to lunch, and my phone was just lit. It was just buzzing all day. I said, you don't understand. All I'm doing is helping people change their lives. I said, if people are calling me all day long saying, I hate you, I hate this doesn't work, this stinks, I hate this, I would be out of my mind. I said, the only people that are calling me are the ones that want me to help them improve their life and help them build a great business. And he goes, wow, that's pretty cool. So she goes, I need you to talk about like how you do. And I'm the opposite, because I'm a little embarrassed that I tried to do the social media thing. And I think I've done something right, because I did a business page and I've got like 6,000 people following me. I've never talked to any of them yet. Because I'm busy. I just don't know how to do it. But anyway, people say, well, how do you do it? My strength, and this is the other thing, not just for you guys, but bringing people into your business, all they have to focus on are those 3 things: approach, present, and enroll. Give them the information. They're either going to do it or they're not. Go to the next one. I mean, that's why Eddie excels. Eddie's like, he brings them in right. He gives them the information. He helps them get to director 2, and then he goes to the next one and just goes to the next one. But my strength is in, I say it fooling around, like working the streets. But I don't go out and work the streets, but obviously I don't go out and work the streets. But I like to go out and talk to people, and it's not the most comfortable thing for me. I mean, I wish I was better at it. The only thing, I'm not really jealous of Eddie Bestoso, but there is one thing I am jealous of Eddie, is that he is a walking recruiting machine. And I wish I could do what he does. And he does the same thing today that he did 30 years ago. He says the same ridiculous thing to every person he meets. Hi, how are you? Blah, 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 blah. Where you from? Blah, blah, blah. Talk some food. And then he says, let me ask you a question. If I could show you a way to make an extra $15,000, $20,000 a year, part-time, you didn't have to sell stuff to your friends, there was no investment, and it wasn't Amway, would you sit down with me for 30 minutes? That's all he says. He does it over and over. I wish I could do it. Like, he'll walk up to a pole and say that. And that's not my, mode of operation. But, I have a new girl I'm working with. She's amazing. I went out to lunch with Nona one day, and I was being sincere. I wasn't just making it up. And I said to God, I said, you're really, really good at what you do. I said, I was a waiter for a while when I dropped out of college. I said, I hated it. But I said, you would be really, really good at the business that we're building with other people. I don't know if it's anything you'd be interested in, but let me give you my card. You should really give me a call sometime. We'll connect, talk, blah, blah, blah. Enrolled her, value pack. She's enrolled 2 or 3 people, but she's getting ready to go. She's gonna do it. But I do all of my business like that. Today, I had a guy that's been calling me that got my health insurance, a health insurance broker, that kept asking me what I do. And when I don't want to talk to someone about what I do, but I tell them a little, I say to them, he said, Zach, what do you do for a living? And I said, I sell soap and laundry detergent to people that don't like to go to the grocery store. He goes, no, really, what do you do for a living? And that's exactly what I do. And he's like, what? I want to hear about that someday. So I just played it up really slow, went to lunch with him today, sat down, did the whole thing, he was an insurance broker with a company, opened his own insurance office. And he's like, this is unbelievable. He goes, this is unbelievable. He goes, if all this is true and this is real, this is great. My wife and I would love these products. Enrolled him. I sent him the link tonight. I'm going to call him later on, place his first order for him. But most of my business has been from walking, talking, and I will tell you this, that's really important. And listen, I'm not saying that this is the way to do it. I'm just telling you the way that I do it. But most of my best enrollments were accidental enrollments of people that I did not want to talk to. You know the story with Robin and George Castle. They lived in my building for 5 years. I walked by them every single day and never spoke to them because I thought they were rich lottery winners or something. They had, they had the Porsche, they had the 911, they had the S Mercedes, the Range Rover. I'm like, these are more rich people. They started asking me about Melaleuca. I totally discounted them. I said, these must be really bored rich people looking for people to talk to because they're never going to be interested. And one of my most powerful best friends I brought in, it's incredible. But most of I would say a lot of my really good people were people that I didn't want or didn't like or colored. I looked at them going, they would never do this. And the problem is here, you can't do that, especially now. You can't look at someone and say, I used to walk down the street in the beginning. I say, well, I want her, I want him. I do not want her. Forget about, I want that one. You can't do that because you know why? And listen, I came from a really treacherous network marketing company where I met Eddie Allen and Nona, and we were really good at what we did. But what happened to us inside was when we sat down with someone, we knew in 5 or 10 minutes whether that person would be able to do it or not. So it'd be like 5 or 10 minutes, okay, next, we would go to the next one. Here, you can't do that because every single person can do this. And when I'm doing an overview or presentation, or if I'm even telling the Melaleuca story, when I do my trainings, I say, this is how I look at what I do. Like today when I sat down with this guy, I had put him on a short video with me just to give him the intro. When I sat with him today, my goal with him was to paint a clear picture of what this is and what this isn't. Because when they're sitting there, I want them to walk away understanding and seeing a clear view of what makes this work. And what's great, you have today what we didn't have back then. I sat there and did that presentation today, and I was like, I couldn't even do anything close to this in the first 10 years of this business. But when someone looks at the stats, when they look at the numbers, when they look at the reorder rate, the amount of growth that we're having, the percentage of customers to business builders, that on a business person, that blows them away because they see that it's real customers buying real products they really love and reorder every month. And I say to everyone, one of the things that really gets people, especially people that have a little bit of knowledge of the industry, as I said, there's only two reasons that's happening. It has nothing to do with the company. It's nothing to do with Frank Vandersloot. It has nothing to do with me. Regular, real, shopping people do not buy products like this month after month, year after year, unless two things are happening. The products are not good. These products are great. And number two, the price point is right. If these products were as great as they are, and we were charging a premium, the average consumer will go back to Publix, they go back to Stop and Shop, they go back to Costco because they couldn't justify spending a higher price for a similar type product in their mind. So they go back to, no one goes back to the store here once they're brought in the right way and they understand the products to the best that we can get them to understand in the beginning, and they really start ordering these products. And you know what's so funny? How many people do we all enroll that have said no to us for 3, 4, 5 years, said no to someone else, and after 6 months they go, oh, I wish I had got these products so much sooner than this. I wish, like I have someone right now who's a friend of a friend, and she's a tough New York broad that knows everything. She knows everything, okay? She uses every supplement that we make. Can't compare to GNC. I'm like, what? Can't compare to the vitamin store. I mean, so, you know, and the problem is when they're friends, you know, I never get into these, I never get into the vitamin. I may get in a fight with her. I just haven't done it yet. But, you know, I go back and forth. So I keep sending her, like, she takes a probiotic, right? And I send her, I say, hey, Lynn, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. You know, I just got this from my company. You should really take a look at this. Send the probiotic. I sent her this one. I sent her everything. And so a friend of mine said, you know, I was talking to Lynn the other day. She said she's going to start ordering your products. I said, when? I said, don't believe it till I get her on the paper. Until I get her on paper, I send that link. But I'll get her. But, you know, sometimes it's really tough. But the bottom line is, once they're here and they're really using these products, they don't leave. And, you know, to be in a position where you're in a business, you know, when we were in that other business, my biggest thing that I hated was, I hated the fact that I had to spend the first 2 or 3 weeks of every month replacing who quit the month before I could move my business forward. And here, people, especially people that have never done anything like this before, they don't understand the power of being in a business when you get to the end of July and you have 100 customers in your business, you're starting from 100. You're not going back 20, 30, 40 customers. So when you equate the dollar return for the amount of time, work, and effort you put in, it's 5 to 8 times anything else that's out there in the marketplace that you could even think or wouldn't think about getting involved in. But that allegedly competes with us. Ellie, you're looking very serious.
This is good information. I love to listen to you.
Okay, how are we on time?
We're good. We could hang out all night.
Okay, all night?
Yeah, sure. What the heck?
Okay, good. So are you guys going to ask me some questions?
Jessica has questions for you. I think Jamie does too, right? Come on out, Jessica.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jessica.
Tom, really, man, I love when you are on these calls. We are so blessed to be on this team. I tell you what, this is so cool. I just wanted to know, what do you say, like, what's a quick answer you would say to somebody who's been in the MLM industry and they say, I don't see any difference. Why do they tell people that this is not MLM? You know, what do you say to those people?
First of all, what I say to them, and most of those people you're talking about have seen Melaleuca or heard of Melaleuca. Yes?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
So this happens all the time. Because when I tell people sometimes what I do, and they go, oh, what do you, well, when people say to me, not today, what do I do? If I don't want to talk to them, I sell self-aligned church to people that don't want to go to the grocery store. But unfortunately, it actually backfires because they go, oh, really, tell me more. It actually makes people towards me. But when I say, oh, have you heard of Melaleuca? They go, oh yeah, I looked at that a long time ago. That thing, the soap thing, the laundry detergent thing, there's nothing there. And this is how I handle it every time. I go, really? I said, let me just tell you, if you never went to New York City in your life, and you went to New York City with someone you know, and you came back, you might say, I hated that city. It was expensive. There was too many people. It was dirty. It was dangerous. I'm never going to go back there. Then, if you went to New York City with me for 3 days, you would come home, and if you bumped into someone, you would say, oh my God, I cannot believe I never went to that city in my entire life. I saw things I never knew existed. I love that city. I can't wait to get back there. Sit down with me for 20 or 30 minutes and let me show you what Melaleuca really is. And then when I do that, if they do it, a lot of times they'll say no, but when they do it, they sit there and they go, huh, why didn't April tell me that? And I say, April didn't know what she had in her hands. This is serious as a heart attack. This is real. This is serious. And here's the best part that you guys have. I mean, that's the way I handle that. A lot of times they say no, because I never get into that, why it's not MLM. I mean, you gotta really sit down and talk about consumer direct marketing, manufacturer, directly to the consumer. You have to talk about all the ends, real customers, real distribution. We don't get paid on promotional volume. No, we can't sell a retailer product. We don't have I mean, you can get into all that stuff when you sit down, but if you get into that battle up front, you're just gonna lose that battle, because unless you sit down and do that. But when I do that, it really does work, because again, when I'm doing that presentation, then I'm really trying to sit there and paint a clear picture of what this is and what this isn't.
So when are you taking me to New York City?
After I do the presentation, we're right now, I'm just reaching out to you. We'll do that presentation and then we'll go to New York City.
Awesome. That's it, Jessica? You have more questions?
That's it. Tom already answered the 97% reorder rate. When someone says, well, I haven't really seen a 97% reorder rate. This is someone who has only brought in a few people maybe, and the people were not ordering, they were letting backup orders go through. But when someone really is manually ordering for 3 months in a row, see, Tom already answered this question. They're going to stay. They stay after manually ordering, and really feeling what Melaleuca is. They stay.
And you know what's really wild, Jessica, and for everybody? I'm telling you honestly, I wake up every day and I'm so humbled and thankful. I mean, we looked at 47 companies. The fact that we were able to make this decision, pick this company, and the other 46 obviously are all out of business and gone and bankrupt. But when we look at this, I just shake my head going, it is unbelievable. I mean, my business today has close to over 19,000 customers. And I was doing a meeting last month for a networker. And I said, this time I'm not gonna lie. I'm kidding, I'm kind of kidding. But I said, I'm gonna tell this guy my numbers, and I'm really gonna get the number. So I'm gonna go into my business report, I'm gonna get my retention, I'm gonna get my reorder rate, I'm gonna get those numbers. So when I say it, if he asks me, I can show it to him, and I'll show him my report. I was at like 97.4 or 5%. It's cool. Even when I read it, I go, it is crazy. It's crazy. Crazy good. but crazy.
It is. That is awesome. Jamie Reyes, come on out.
Yes. So my question is, I think I asked you this a long time ago, but I still have that person. I have a few of them, but they're like 7 figures. They're doing affiliate marketing. And I know
What?
they're doing affiliate marketing.
Okay.
And, they're investors. I actually have this person. He's in Florida as well. And I have it in my head. I approached him already. He's like, send me the information. But I did send him some information on an email, but I want him to be on the phone. And I know, how can I approach him to be on the phone with me and you so he can take a look at this? How can I approach him?
So just tell him, I would like you to spend a few minutes on the phone with one of my business partners and just listen to what we're doing and just keep it simple. And, listen, we're all good at some things. We all stink at other things. Look, I know what my strength is. My strength is painting a clear picture of what this is and what Melaleuca is. I can't guarantee they're going to grasp it. I can't guarantee they're going to gravitate towards it. But, that's most of my day I spend is on the phone with the leaders of my business that have people that really are looking to build a business and tell the story. Because, the bottom line here is there's nothing bad here. I mean, there's really nothing bad here. And I honestly, in my heart, know this and believe this. Anyone who ever enrolled in a network marketing, multi-level marketing company came into the industry of direct sales to get this. They all came to get this because the story never changes. I want you to work really hard. I'm going to teach you how to build a business. You're going to get a lot of people doing a little. And after you build that business, you're going to get that income paid to you. Want that? It's the same story in every company. Not one company in history has even come close to what Melaleuca has been able to do, but they've done it because the way they built the business. They built it from the ground up. They didn't focus on the hype. They didn't focus on the BS, the money, all that stuff. You know what they focused on? The products and satisfying the end-line consumer. And that's the reason we are where we are today, because they built it the right way. And when people get to understand that, I mean, the numbers are undeniable. Most people, when I tell them the numbers, don't believe me. I go, you know what? Let's sit down and I'll show you my report. I'll show you my report. Go through the report. Look at these numbers. I mean, I still have my report from Nu Skin, 4,700 customers. The last one I got, 4,700 distributors that were allegedly distributing things. 4,700, 181 people ordered something the month I left. I pull my report up on the computer. It's almost 400 and something pages. There are no zeros. Every single person is ordering. Some of them are 300 months, 200 months. And I go, calculate that in your mind. How long does it take you to enroll a customer? And then you calculate, listen, I don't have that number in front of me right now, but the first in-home, and I tell people, this is what Melaleuca is. And I'll see if I can get the numbers close, but the first in-home that Eddie, Nona, Alan, and I did in Boston was in Nona's living room. There were 14 people there. It was the worst presentation you could have ever seen. There were no sales aids. We didn't have a flip chart. We winged the whole thing. It took weeks to get your products. We hadn't even tried all the products because we ordered them, they never came. We had 14 people. 12 people miraculously enrolled into they were calling it the Metamucil company back then, Metamucil thing. Do you know that those 12 customers, except for one last year, who unfortunately passed away, a good friend of ours, those 12 customers have placed an order every month, 12 months a year, for almost 30 years. So we sat down one day and we said, let's take those 12 customers and let's round it out to a $50 average order a month. Let's multiply $50 times 12 times 12 months a year, then multiply the 12 months a year by however, 28 years, whatever we are here. Now let's take the lowest amount of commission we could possibly get, which is 7%. Usually with the bonuses and all that, usually 10% of your volume. But we did the lowest possible. I think that Eddie, Nona, Alan, and I, for that 2-hour horrible in-home, each made $19,000 from that one night. That's what this is. Then you compound that with the continuous work, helping the other people and what they're doing, helping the other people. You only have to do this once. And that's the key to success here. And you have to paint that clear picture of what this really is. And when you really evaluate in a traditional network marketing, multi-level, whatever it is, when you're replacing 40, 50, 60% of the people every month, and you're spending half your time replacing who left to get to where you were so you can move forward, when you look at the dollar return for the hours you spend here, if you're really enrolling customers and doing the right activity, if you evaluate the dollars for the hours spent here, it's at least double what any other company is going to give you, and it's not going to fall apart. You've got a business that's going to last you a lifetime. And again, it comes down to painting a clear picture and telling the story. And sometimes, you know, listen, with Jeff and April, they were tough. I mean, I think with Jeff and April, I had probably 3-hour calls with them. And the greatest part about our business is when someone brings us an objection, there's not an objection that we can't overcome with 100% confidence, 100% honesty. And I really believe there's only 2 reasons that a person will not build this business. Number one, they don't believe it. They just don't believe it. And all you can do is the best you can do to get them to believe it. And number 2, they're just not willing to do the work. There are a lot of people that should, would, but won't. We have tons of them. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, Prada. You know, should, would, but won't. And the only reason they won't, they just don't want to do the work. And that's just human nature. And that's just part of the game. But here's the other part that you have to think about. You know, I was having a discussion with someone about 8 months ago. And I said, you know, when I looked at my business when I was in network marketing, the numbers are really not different. Because in Melaleuca, you know, in my business, I think it's only 4 or 5% of my organization actually enroll at least one person a month. 4 or 5%. You know, 95% of those people are just customers that order our products every month. You know what? It's the same number in every company. That one number is constant in direct sales. 5% do 95% of the work. The problem in the other companies is the 95% that don't work, they quit. So here, when you're building your business and you're going out to find those leaders and find the people to team up with, you're building the foundation of your business and you're building the foundation of your income. Every customer you bring in enhances your income, and you never know, because so many of our leaders have come from customers or customers that customers have brought in. How many customers in our business have said, I would never do anything like this. I would never talk about this to anyone. I'll try the products. I'd love to shop here, that have become senior executive and above directors. You know, it's all about the products, and the products do the work for us. Jamie, hi, I thought I lost Jamie. Is she still here?
I'm still here. Thank you for the answer.
Jamie,
I know it's a long answer, but that's the answer.
we got to get you a headset or something. Your volume is cuckoo tonight. It's shaking. It's shaking. We need to get you a headset too.
Are you sure it's not you shaking?
Shh, don't be telling everybody that. Carol, you got a question from Debbie Stone?
I do.
Oh, yes, Carol, the nice person.
The nice one.
The nice person from Long Island, right.
Absolutely.
Right. Yes, this is a conglomerate question from Debbie Stone and her team, her group.
Okay.
And it says, what did Tom incorporate into his daily method of operation that was his turning point?
I know the answer.
Oh, what's that? Tell me. I don't understand the question.
So was there something that you did differently at some point in your career, even back with the other company, that made it that made the turning point for you, that things started to gel and you started to really explode and move forward?
Well, listen, when I left that company, we were broke. We were financially devastated. So, you know, when we looked at the 47 companies, and I'll tell you what happened. You know, that was when Frank did the launch about the fast track. That was the first time I ever heard anyone really tell that story about Eddie, Nona, and Alan. And we don't really tell that story because, not for any reason, I just don't like doing that rags to riches thing, because I always say to people, look, it was the worst thing that ever happened to me because it financially devastated me. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because if I didn't go through that experience, I would never have met Eddie, Nona, and Alan. And we didn't work together. We were in separate organizations. And in that business, we weren't even allowed to talk to each other because sideline was the enemy. You stayed in your own grid. You didn't go. So, you know, we got together when it was falling apart and just talked to each other about it. But, you know, when we made the decision that took like 7 or 8 weeks, we sat down together and we had no choice. I mean, whatever we picked, we had to do, and we had to make work as best as we could. And we went out and we built this business with a vengeance. And I'm gonna tell you, it was not easy. And listen, we were in a different space. We had 40 not so attractive products. People didn't believe us. People were laughing at us. I have a friend of mine that came to my house in Cabo last year, and he's a really good friend of mine from Boston. And he goes, Tom, he goes, I gotta tell you, I felt so bad for you for so many years. And I said, why? He goes, so many people were laughing at you and making fun of you behind your back because you were selling this oil from a tree in New South Wales, Australia that Captain Cook found. And he said, I don't think anyone's laughing now. I'm like, no kidding. So we went through a really hard time, but this is what we said to each other when we sat down. We said, we are not gonna stop until we get to $10,000 a month. I mean, we literally didn't sleep. I didn't have a car. I was borrowing money from my parents to put gas in other people's cars to go out and do presentations. I mean, we were really bottomed out, but our attitude was, we are not gonna stop till we get to $10,000. If someone says no, under our breath, we're gonna say to ourselves, thank you very much for your time, get out of my way, because nothing is gonna stop us. And we actually were, Eddie called it members of the NFL club, no friends left. Everyone we knew, we had brought into this other business, they had lost 4,000, but they wouldn't even, if they saw us, they ran away. So we had no one to talk to. We were doing something that we don't talk about, but again, listen, this is a whole different time, and we had to do this. Eddie and I think Nona did it too. Alan had a whole different thing. Every day we would go out and we would talk to people. We would talk to people. We would put 10 paper clips in our pocket. And we would go out, and every time we spoke to someone, approached someone, we'd throw a paper clip out. And if we didn't get rid of all those paper clips by the end of the day, we wouldn't even go home. We were in grocery stores, we were at restaurants, we were just out talking to people. And it was, listen, the reality was, like Eddie said, there's only one place we can go, which is up. We can't go any lower than we are. We're gone. We only have one direction. So you had 4 people that were just, when I'm telling you, we went out with a vengeance. I do a presentation for someone, I book an in-home at their house that night. At the in-home, we'd enroll people, I book a luncheon at their house the next day. I mean, we didn't stop until we got to executive director. And it was a rough road. But you know, what you need to do is you have to ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this? What do I want to achieve? And how am I going to get there? And the most important thing you have to do is you have to find your road of least resistance. You can't do something that you don't like because you're going to fail. And everyone here can find their road. You know, some people are great at BNI. Some people are great at network meetings. Like I would never, I actually got thrown out of a network meeting a couple of weeks ago. I went to my, Robin and George are laughing so hard, right? So I said, I'm gonna do this. I've never done one of these things. I'm gonna do one of these, right? So I wish I could get the picture up there. I can't get it on here. So I go to this, it's called Biz to Biz networking meeting. And so I got a ticket, I went there, I walked in, and it's like, you know, you walked in. I don't know what that is, I'm sorry. I walked in, and it's got all these people with tables, and they're selling stuff and making stuff, and there's essential oil people, there's all kinds of people there. So I walk in, and the first table I see is, you know, a couple of these girls, and they're making some products and stuff. And so I just stood there and talked to them right by the front door. And I said, hey, blah, 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 blah. I said, so how long have you been doing this? Where do you live? All this. I said, you know, you guys would be amazing at the business that I'm in. I'm this incredible business called Melaleuca. And all of a sudden, this guy taps me on the shoulder and says, sir, can I see you for a minute? And I'm like, sure. So I'm like right by the door, right? I wish I could get the picture up, but he goes, can you read? I'm like, yeah. He's like, did you not read the sign on the way in? And I'm like, I didn't see a sign. He goes, come with me. So on the door is open, and on the door jamb, the edge of it, there's like an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And it said, I forget, it says like, absolutely no solicitation of our vendors. And I'm like, well, I thought it was called Biz to Biz networking meeting. So they can talk to me about their business. You will have to leave the premises immediately, or I'm going to call security. I got thrown out. My first networking meeting. And I said, and Rob was like, I don't believe it. I sent Robin and George a picture. Rob was like, you're the craziest person. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. But now I know network meetings are not, those network to network, you know, meetings are not for me. So I do my own thing where I just walk and talk. But, you know, the turning point for us was a different turning point because it was desperation. But, you know, there are people who we have here for a long time that want to do this, and they don't really do it. And then all of a sudden something happens. Something snaps and they go, I get it. Okay, I get it now. I get it. Because when people see the reality and the validity, and it all comes back to your why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to do this? And now, it's a lot better now because when you're out building this business, you really are helping people. And I knew that we were helping people in the beginning, but I never thought that we would have the power that we have today of helping people in so many ways. And the products alone, you know, but it just happens to people. And, you know, I say to people, if you're having a hard time, if you don't like what you do, step back, take a little bit of time, take a breath, and find out what it is that you don't like doing and change it. Because you can do this any way. It's like me. I wish I could get online and do all this stuff. I just can't. It's not in my nature. You know, I've tried. I've done actually accidentally. I've accidentally, stumbly done very well, whatever that means. I don't know what being famous on social media means anymore, but you know, for me, I like the interaction with people. You know, will I do it? Yeah. Do I have some people that reach out to me? Yes, I've known some people, but you know, for me, and you know, it's so funny because the people I'm doing the call for tomorrow, you know, I talked to her when she first enrolled, I was helping her, and she said to me, she said, oh, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I just got back from a presentation. She goes, what do you mean go back? I said, I went out and did no. She goes, you actually got in your car and went and talked to someone about this? I mean, they don't leave, and they think it's so weird, and I think it's so weird. I'm kind of jealous weird, but I think it's so weird that they never go out and they just sit in their house on their computer and do this all day long. But you know, again, it's about finding what works for you. That's, and because you have to be happy and you have to be comfortable.
That was awesome.
Debbie said thank you very much for the answer. She will bring that back to her group.
Okay, great, 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 great.
But that's not the answer I was going to give for him.
Okay.
Well, they were talking about your daily method of operation, and that one's easy. Approach, present, and enroll. That's his daily method of operation for 30 years, right?
Still, you know what? It's so funny because I was reading this the other day to Nona, and it's like the 6 steps to success. It is if you read this, like I could bring someone in today and say, do this. I mean, it's just, you know, you get your 5 assignments, read your business kit, which we don't have anymore, turn to the last page, write down your why, spend your time, make sure you know why you're doing this, put together your first order. They used to be called the value pack and the career pack. Start your contact list. You know, finally set a goal to become a director in the next 2 to 4 weeks, because the most important thing that's happening right now is the 2 questions people are going to ask you for your Melaleuca life. How did you get started? What did you place for your first order? How long did it take you to get to director? We're starting to write your story. Let's write the best story that we can write for you, because your people will do what you do and not what you say. You're leading this group. I mean, it's so basic, but it's unbelievable how everything is still the same today. I used to remember, we can't do this anymore, but we had someone at a meeting and at a training meeting, and we were talking about creating a list, how to do the list, how to separate the list, the chicken list, the people you're afraid to talk to, the ones you think are good, the ones you don't think are good. And we had someone at a meeting, and they said to Nona, they said, Nona, I don't think I can do this Melaleuca thing. And I was like, it goes by. And no, somebody goes, I really don't know anybody. And Nona's like, well, if someone took you and locked you in a closet for like a day, and then someone came and let you out, you'd know 2 people. The one that locked you out, locked you up, and the one that let you out. And the guy's like, what? And so we all laughed. It was actually pretty funny. So I used to make fun of Nona when she did this, because then she had an exercise that I thought was the most absurd thing I ever heard in my life. And I used to look at her going, I can't believe she's saying this. So she would tell people, if you can't put your list together, go get the yellow pages. Get the big yellow pages, which I don't even think, do we even have those anymore? We don't have those, right?
I don't think we have them anymore.
And this is how crazy this was. We were like a 1.5 years into the business, and I was out of people. I mean, I was like, you know, I was out of people. And Nona used to say this to trades. I used to think of her go, that is the most ridiculous, absurd thing I've ever heard in my life. And she said, get the yellow pages and go home with a yellow pad of paper and a pen and start at A and go to automotive. Who did you buy your last car from? If you had to get your car fixed, who would you go to? Who do you know that sells cars? Air conditioning. If you were to get an air conditioner, who would you buy the air conditioner? Go through every single business and write down the list, and then tell me you don't know anybody. So one day, right, I'm sitting at home and I'm out of people. My list is gone. And I said, screw it. I said, give me the yellow. I sat down. I built my list for the following 2 years from that yellow page book. It was and the whole time for a year, I'm laughing at her, making fun of her. Like, you know, she goes, really? Really? Seems to be working for everyone else. And, you know.
That is awesome. I don't know, I haven't seen the yellow pages in a long time, but you could go online and you could go through the pages.
Oh, right. That way too, I guess. Yeah. So funny. We're getting old, Ellie, let me tell you.
Yeah, I know, that's scary. I remember the big books.
Oh, God. Crazy, crazy. But you know, that was the basic stuff that we did. And it's just amazing how similar everything is today It's just at a different level. It's better, it's more concise, it's more streamlined, and there's more belief today. You know, we just spent a lot more time years ago getting people's belief instilled in the future in the company, what was going to happen. Today, you know, people look at this, they go, this thing is, I said to the guy today, I said, this is a sleeping monster. I said, this is a sleeping monster. When you think about over 100,000 customers every 30 days coming here to shop, not to build a business, and no one has heard about us yet. I said, listen, the people in this weird subculture of direct sales and network marketing we're in, everyone's heard of it. When you get out into the street with real normal people, no, I mean, I think in our last demographic study, someone told me that we're still under 10% name recognition. And you know that we're going to get to a point where we're going to start having name recognition. People are going to start searching the company and the products out. And that's when this whole thing is going to go berserk, more berserk. But, you know, we're probably years away from that. But the good news is, every time you bring a customer into your business today, every time you bring a new business builder, every time you bring someone in, you up the odds that some of those people are going to come into your business because they have to come in somewhere. It's just, and you don't know who they're going to be. And the question you have to ask yourself, how much of this do I want? And the only way that you're going to get more, approach, present, enroll. Approach, present. And I know that we've talked about this before, but I want to tell you the biggest Melaleuca lesson that I've learned that was probably the most important. When we were growing for a couple of years, and then we hit a flat spot where we were working really hard and we flattened out. And it was really, really tough. And so the four geniuses, Vistoso, Pisano, Paris, or MPR, we decided to do something. Said, well, why don't let's look at all the leaders that are in place now, the people that are at that time at the top of the company. There has to be something similar that all those people have, so we can just go out and look for those people and not waste our time looking at all these other people, right? And you know, it was so bizarre and absurd to do it. The thing was, the only thing that they had in common was they were looking for this, they wanted it, they were ready for it, and they were interested in it. The most amazing thing is, and if you want to prove this to yourself, this business has nothing to do with you. You are the messenger. That's all you are. This has everything to do with them. You don't know who's going to do this. And here's the most powerful thing. When you go to convention this year, I mean, you don't have to do this, but I'll tell you, if you did it, what will happen? Go to every executive director that you can find that's successful and ask them one question. Are you working this hard? Are you putting this much time into your business because of the person who introduced you to Melaleuca? And every single person will say, absolutely, positively not. I'm doing this because I want this. I was ready for this. I'm going to do this. It wouldn't even matter who enrolled me. They may have done a great presentation, but it doesn't matter. And when you understand that, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them. The more customers you enroll, the more customers your organization enrolls, the higher the odds are that some of these powerful people are going to come into your business. And the only way to not win here is to stop enrolling. And it's powerful. It's really, really powerful.
So much good information. Again, tonight, always, right?
See? You don't call me anymore. I thought you were me.
Here's April.
Tom'sTheBomb.com.
There he is.
Bomb.com.
Yeah, that's what Jeff always says. That was good information, Tom.
Listen, this is good. It's so great to get together with you guys. I apologize that I haven't talked to you guys in a while, but everyone's been working. It's been crazy. Like July, for most of my group was really, really great. But you know what? We're all in the same game here, and we've all got a great, great future ahead of us. And I'm really thankful that we're friends. And like Ellie was saying before, I would start booking those convention tickets soon. I mean, Nona and I already bought ours.
We got ours.
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy. This year's gonna be crazy, but we're gonna have a great time. And listen, that's the other thing. I know it's hard for a lot of people, especially a lot of new people, but getting people to that convention, if you can get them there for a couple of days, is one of the most powerful things you can do. Because people walk out of there, not all, but a lot of people walk out of there and they have no idea what they're doing, what we're doing, what they're doing. When they walk out of there, they're in a whole different place. Because the reality is they see the success and they see the people. And what's really great is how real everyone is there. I mean, for me, the numbers, that stuff are exciting. But when you stand there and look at the cross-section of people, you know, I came from that other company where everyone was in suits and ties and Mercedes and everyone's like, you know, I mean, here it's all real people really changing their lives here. So I will submit to you, get everybody you can to that convention, because the benefit for you and the benefit for them is probably one of the best things you can do.
Awesome. And then you get to meet Tom.
And then you get to meet me.
And give him a hug.
We had a good time. We have a good time. It's awesome. Really awesome.
We thank you so much, Tom, that you come here, that you give us your time. We know you're busy. We absolutely.
Listen, you know I love you guys. I'm really excited for the future for all of us. Let's do this again soon, and we'll all get on together soon. And April, I pray for you every day, honey. You know how much I love you.
Thank you, Tom.
I know everything is going to be okay. It's going to take some time, but you got all of us on your side.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Listen,
All right.
thank you for everything. Okay.
Thank you,
All right,
Tom.
thank you.
It's great to
Thank
see
you,
guys.
everybody. GTOT. We're gonna
Thank
get
you,
you
Tom.
horn.
Talk to you
We're gonna
guys
get
soon.
you horns, Tom.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. You guys are great.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Night.
All right. All right. We just ended Facebook. GTOT. Total Transformation now. I'm not on Facebook. Total Transformation is next Thursday. Yes, Jessica?
Yes, the 15th at 8 p.m.
It's on the
Invite
calendar.
like crazy.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody's gonna have to we're gonna have to put it on Facebook then.
We'll put it up, and we would have to do it anyway, so we'll put it up on Facebook. We'll put the post. Thank you, everybody, for being here, for your questions. And April, it's so
Yeah.
good to see you.
All right, good to see everyone. Love you guys.
Glad to
Love
hear.
you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Mwah.